I'm Tommy NC2010, and welcome back to the most electrifying show here on YouTube, the Tommy Talk Show. Tonight, folks, we have none other than the indie wrestler, Evan Law. Folks, put your hands together for Mr. Evan Law. How are you doing tonight, sir, Mr. Evan?
I'm doing absolutely fantastic, Tommy. Thanks for having me.
Now, I understand, what inspired you to get into the indie circuit?
Ooh, when I was a kid growing up, I was a big fan of WWE, and I still am. The one match that really got me into wrestling was Jeff Hardy's last match. I believe it was in 2010. It was a steel cage match. It was a career match versus the world title. It was CM Punk versus Jeff Hardy. And when Jeff Hardy lost that match and lost his career in WWE, I was bawling my eyes out because I was this young kid, impressionable kid, and Jeff Hardy was my idol. And for him to be able to evoke my emotions like that when I was a young kid, that was a special moment. And looking back at it,
about somebody they're dropping the title of somebody is so underrated as CM Punk. Look what he has now. The washed out reputation that CM Punk has now, and and then a lot of people throw rumors around that he's coming back. Do you think this is questionable, or do you think that it's more than just wish-wash?
If CM Punk is coming back to WWE, he has his UFC thing going on right now. I don't think he's going to be coming back anytime soon, but if you were to tell me he's going in the Hall of Fame maybe 10 years from now, sure, but I don't think he'll be returning to the ring anytime soon.
You mean when Vince is dead, you mean? When Vince is...
Oh, yeah, absolutely. When Vince is dead, sure, anything's possible.
I hate to say that about somebody like Vince, but, Vince seems like he's a very hateful and person. People say he's loving, but honestly, what the stories I've heard about him, he is very, just hateful, diabolical, and just wants to do what he wants. If they're pushing Roman. So sorry. I mean, you are a wrestler, so I should respect you. I apologize. Talk about other names. What was your first match, and how did you know that you were the best?
Ooh, I faced someone named what was it? I forget his name. It was so long ago. Oh boy. Okay, so I worked a promotion called ACW. I was actually 17 years old at the time, and I walk in there, and being a 17-year-old, of course I'm scared. And this guy's huge, and first slam I took, it was painful as all hell. But you know what? After the match was over and I walked back and everyone was shaking my hand, telling me how good I was, that kind of sunk into the point where, okay, maybe I have a future in this business. And knowing that the promoters and the other wrestlers respected the hell out of me, the 17-year-old who basically took an ass beating but took it like a man, hey, that means I'm getting somewhere.
Understand. What was the match that defied your career, that honestly set yourself up for either winning or failure?
It wasn't a match that really opened my eyes to that. It was a promo I did. I worked with a friend of mine. His name was, I believe, DMC. That's his wrestling name, DMC. And I was about 16, and I was hyping this match up through social media, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, you name it. And I kept writing down scripts of what I say and what I do, and I was working really hard. I was working probably around the clock trying to figure out what I can say to build hype around this. And when the camera was on and I started talking, and you have that feeling like, wow, I did really good. And after the camera was off and after the interview was the promo was posted, and I started receiving all these messages of hate, because I was a heel, I was a bad guy. And when all these people are telling me, oh, you're a scumbag and you're this and that, you kind of realize, wow, I'm making this heel thing work, and I'm a really good heel. And as days goes on, and I get more views and views and views, and people are just hating on me constantly, I realized I'm a really good heel, and I'm a really good bad guy. And when I say heel, I'm not like, oh, I'm a biggest, baddest guy. I'm more of an egotistical heel. I'm the best in the world at what I do. That not mentioning CM Punk, but I'm the egotistical heel. And when people hate on me for promos, not even a match, a promo, that's when I realized I'm that damn good.
Wow. Now, what endeavors do you have for the future right now? You've conquered. It sounds like what I hear from you. You've conquered the indie circuit. What would you, if you couldn't say anything, what futures endeavors do you currently have right now that are possibly in your future?
I wouldn't say I conquered the indie circuit. I would say I made an impression. Being a 17-year-old who went from living in a trailer and doing this and that with my family, and going from just being a loser and all that. But what really, I don't know, Tommy. I don't think I conquered the indie circuit. I think I made a name for myself through social media and all that, but I do not think I conquered it. I say, I say I did a good job. I say I did a good enough job to get people to recognize me.
Understand. I understand. It's you do what you do to get your foot in the door, and you do what you can to state your quota. And myself as a person, I have stated my quota in this community, even though people shatter me with the autism thing. I try my best to.
Hey man, I got a few things to say about that. Look, you may be that, but my brother is autistic as well. But I don't look down on him. I don't make fun of him. Like, I'm talking to you like a normal person. If someone cuts you, guess what? You bleed red blood. If someone cuts my brother, he bleeds red blood. It's just like this racial thing. If you cut a black person, guess what? He bleeds red blood. We all have red blood. That means we all have a heartbeat. We are all human beings on this earth, and everyone should be treated equally.
Yes, they should. And the fact is that you're obviously a big fan of my community and the Joe Cronin community and the Foulmouth community. Which community do you like the most, would you say?
Ooh, boy. Look, Joe Cronin, Foulmouth Ken, you guys are all great. But guess what? There's no separate communities. You're all one group of communities. You are on Monetize This. Foulmouth Ken's on Monetize This. That is a special bond, and I don't feel comfortable picking my favorite, but you know what? I'll give you credit. You have a hell of a show going on. You were on MTV. Guess what? Joe Cronin wasn't on MTV. Foulmouth Ken wasn't on MTV. You were on MTV. Or you were on Tosh.0 as well. And guess what? None of those guys have that. You own it, man. You own it.
Thank you, and I appreciate it. That's why I'm the World Heavyweight MTV's May Comedy Central's champion of the world.
Right.
Dominating it every single night of the week. And someday in the future, I want to get myself. That's my biggest wish, is to get myself an actual belt, that I could get for myself to say, have for myself as a title.
Correct.
Yes, and it's definitely one of those things that you dominate every single night, and you run into it, and you run it as hard as you can. You hit those ropes as hard as you can. A term that you know about, probably.
Yep. And look, man, it doesn't matter what kind of belt you have. It doesn't even matter if you have a belt. If you say you're the champion and you prove it day in and day out, you're the champion. You don't need a belt to prove that you're a champion. You need a good attitude, a good personality, and you're the champion. At the end of the day, I might not have a belt, but I classify myself as a champion because I'm still here. I'm still relevant. That means I'm a champion. Yes. And you know what proves I'm a champion? I'm on Tommy Talks right now. Who else watching this was on Tommy Talks? Come on.
I understand that, man, and it's all about how you play it, and it's all about the game and how you do it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
A lot of people tried to, a lot of people do want to come on my show, and I love to have people on my show. The people that I interview on my show is qualifications between different people. So it's there may be some
Right.
controversies behind
Hell,
the
Tommy,
booking.
you had a Keemstar on Tommy Talk, correct?
Yeah, I did have Keemstar, but that was on my smaller channel, and so yeah, I technically he was on more of a smaller platform for Tommy Talks. He wasn't on this platform, but I sometimes want to download that episode and put it on my main YouTube channel and see how that would do. And
No doubt, no doubt.
let it all out. But and now he hates me now, and he actually, I don't know if this is true words from him, but just quoting possibly what he said. He said I wasn't relevant and that I was just a meme and I should be hateful like him.
Okay, let me address that. Keem, buddy, if you're listening to this, you got relevant by reporting news and drama, buddy. He got relevant by putting eggs on a car or saving a woman's eggs. That's more impressive than reporting news, buddy. Come on.
And honestly, I say this about Keem all the time. I say, you're not a reporter, Keem. You're a guy, you're a middle aged man that's bald, and you sit in your house with your little hat and you talk about YouTube drama. That doesn't make you Keem, that doesn't make you a reporter. That just makes you a middle aged man sitting in your house talking about YouTube drama. That's what you are.
You know what? I have a question for Keemstar, and if he could answer this, does he degree men his beard? Because, you know, I don't expect when I'm middle aged, I expect to have a gray beard, but him having a full colored beard, I doubt that. I doubt that.
I bet you he does. I bet you Keemstar darkens his beard because he's old.
He takes a Sharpie to it. He's too cheap to buy degree men.
But it's definitely one of those things. Is you don't know. I have.
Oh, Tommy, we shouldn't be talking about beards. Joe might get upset.
What?
Joe Cronin, he can't grow a beard.
I mean,
it's all patchy and spotty and crap.
I mean, I don't much care about what people's whose facial hairs, who has what. It's all about just the way you look. And if somebody wants to grow a beard, they can grow a beard. But why don't they just put instant grow on their face? Is there a thing that you could put like instant grow on your face and it like helps you grow your facial hair? Wouldn't you say?
Oh man, I don't think we can grow facial hair like we grow plants. But if I could put Miracle Grow on my face and water it every day, that'd be awesome, man.
That's the next invention somebody needs to make. Instant grow for people that can't grow beards. Watch it. People just be like, blah, 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 blah. And they're just like,
right.
Oh, what happened to me?
Next 20 years, we'll probably see that. We'll probably see women with beard everywhere. Women's with beards, right? Oh, so hot, man. I'd be so attracted to a woman with a beard. Ugh.
Well, wouldn't you be afraid to get like hair in your mouth like after you make out with her?
Ooh, you know what? That happened before. It's no biggie. I mean, hell, I exchange gum when I make out with a woman.
I have nothing against women that are natural.
Natural, I like it.
Natural,
I like it.
Unquote in quotations, natural. But you sound like a busy man. Your phone is just going off the hook, dude.
I'm telling you, these women just want to talk to me, man. Look, these women need to chill out. I am not taken currently, but these women need to stop being so thirsty. I see you, Natalie. I see you.
So what is the future for you right now, my friend Evan?
You know what? I'm sitting back and relaxing, spending time with my family, and when I feel like the time is right, I'm going to make the jump to bigger and better adventures, and I'm going to do what I do best, and that is steal the show every single night.
Folks, here's a promo. Let me tell you something. Here's a guy, Evan Law. Let me tell you something. He is the law. Every night, he's going to come in this ring, and let me tell you something. He's not going to just do something. He's going to deliver it. He's going to deliver the pain. He's going to deliver the most electrifying moves, and he's going to be champion every single night. Because when the law comes down on you, he's going to lay the law down on you. Because I'm Tommy NC 2010, and my client here will deliver. He will set the law because he is the law. Okay, folks?
Damn right, Tommy.
That's
Damn right.
that's all it counts.
I'm
folks.
Evan Law, and I steal the show every single night, no matter what town it is, no matter what city it is, no matter what state it is. I steal the show because I am that damn good, and I will back it up every single night. I'm not trying to be like Dolph Ziggler. I'm not trying to be like Dolph Ziggler. I'm not trying to be like Shawn Michaels. And you know what? Those two guys can go fuck off. Because look,
Whoa, watch the language.
oh, well, I can't say fuck off.
That you could, it could, but yeah, just be careful. I mean,
All right.
this is the
Those
Tommy Talk
guys
Show, dude.
step off.
Back,
Is that better?
Yeah, it's better. Like certain
Right.
people, Keemstar can't control himself. Filthy mouth of the. I do, I try to keep a professional quota about myself. I try to have an upper hand. Just to say, I could play a heel, I could play a face. I could do everything. I could set the
You
standard.
can play heel, Tommy? You can play heel?
Yeah.
Cool. Can you please cut a heel promo for me?
Against who?
Ooh, let's say Justin Bailey.
Okay, listen here, Justin Bailey. You redneck, backwoods, deer humper. If you ever call me retarded ever again, I'm going to take you, I'm going to put you through your truck, and then I'm going to put you through a table, and then I'm going to take your little radio show, and I'm going to stick it so far up up to the sun where you can't see, up where the sun doesn't shine. Because the fact is that I am Tommy NC 2010, and I've been doing this longer than you. You understand that? I've been doing this since 2010. I've been doing this before any of you guys ever came along. And maybe Joe has been here longer, but let me tell you something. I've been here longer. I demand the respect, and I'm going to get the respect. Okay?
Did you just call him a deer humper?
You asked for you asked for a heel. You asked for a.
Hey man, I don't doubt he humps deers. I don't doubt it. With his wife is, anything's possible.
Yeah. But yeah, you wanted a heel promo, so yeah.
Oh, you gave it to me. That was the best heel promo I ever heard.
Yes, and now here's a face promo. I am Tommy NC 2010. I will work with anybody. But when it comes to the spotlight, I will be in the spotlight. I will make myself work as hard as I can. Anybody gets in my way, I will put them down. Because I do what I do. I earn this right here. This is my award. You see that? That is my award for the hard work and love. For the people that love me. Even though some of them have left, the audience is still there. I still deliver every single night. And if you got a problem with that, you can just check yourself at the door. Because I'm Tommy NC 2010, World Heavyweight, MTV's made Comedy Central Champion. And I dominated for that title. I delivered it. And that's what I do every single night. And that's how it's done, folks. Believe in that. Understand that? Believe. And I just used the Roman Reigns promo. But I'm going to say this. Stay positive and believe in that.
That was pretty damn good.
Here's to you. The glass is empty. Now fill it up.
You know, Tommy, if I was a woman, I would be so wet right now. And I'm not talking about pouring a glass of water all over myself. Not at all.
How about that for the promo? I was like, okay, the glass is empty. Now fill it up. Wouldn't that be a funny...
Yeah, fill her up, Tommy. Get drunk.
No, it means a challenge. The challenge is filling up the cup and then me emptying it and telling them to fill it back up as the challenge. Wouldn't that be a funny promo for a WWE promo? It's like, the cup is empty. Now fill it up. Bring it on. Just bring it. That's what
That's
I got.
the rock. That's the rock.
Is there anything else you would like to plug before we end the show here, Evan? Or would you like to ask me? I give you one question, one impression. Was there anything you want to plug or do anything before I end the show here?
You know, I would like to say something.
Sure.
You know, coming from you, 3 days ago, if you would have told me I would be on Tommy Talks, I would have thought you were high or on drugs. But now that I'm here doing Tommy Talks View, it's very special to me because the names that have been on the show, like Relic Clown, like Burger Planet, like hell, even Keemstar. Much as I don't like him, he was on it.
Don't forget, the Nostalgia Critic has also been on this platform too.
Oh, really? Yeah, I heard about him. But none of them are more special to me because I'm not special in a, mentally way. I'm special in a physical way. I'm just special around, Tommy. You can ask any of my ex-girlfriends. I'm very special.
I guess we could ask them and they could say a few things about you.
A few things, few inches, something like that.
Yeah, of course, if you talk to your modern-day girlfriend, she probably would tell you different.
Oh, yeah, if I asked my girlfriend if I had one today, she'd say, oh, you're so big and broad and great, but as soon as we break up with him, oh, he's small and fragile, That's how it goes.
And that's how you know it's the rest of the story.
Oh, my God, man, women these days... Look, women are women. Don't be degraded by women. You could have sex with them all you want, but at the end of the day, they're just women, and they're going to do what they want. And one day, you're going to meet that girl that really ruffles your feathers, and you're going to marry her. But until then, you're going to deal with a lot of asshole women, and you're going to deal with a lot of asshole men.
Well, still respect women. Still respect them.
Oh, yeah. I respect women. Ask my mom.
So is there anything else? So yeah, that's right. You have one question, one impression you can ask me.
Tommy, what do you think about Joe Cronin?
I think Joe Cronin is a swell guy. I think that he works hard for what he does. And I could say the same thing about Foulmouth Ken, is he's a swell guy. He works for what he works for. And also Justin Bailey. Justin Bailey is striving to work for where he is today to get in the highlights as Joe Cronin. Yeah.
Did you just say Ken was swell?
Oh God, that's mean. Oh come on, dude. He's a good guy. Ken works.
He's a little pudgy, but you know what? He's good. He's funny. He's a funny one.
Ken works as hard as Joe Cronin. He works. He pushes himself.
Hell, maybe even harder. I mean, look. From what I see on YouTube, he does more live shows than Joe.
Well, Joe has an agenda. Joe has a setup, and Ken has a setup too. So Joe does these amount of shows, and this is what people expect out of Joe. They expect this out of Ken. So Ken is not trying to compete with Joe. They're two different people, but they're friends at the same time. They're interlocked.
No, I gotta say this. This is not what I'm about to say. Is not a reflection of what Tommy feels. This is a reflection of how I feel. This is my personal opinion. Tommy loves Joe Cronin. He's a good friend to Joe Cronin. But from what I see of Joe Cronin, he calls himself real as F. I don't. I feel like he throws you under the bus a lot. I feel like he throws like Countdown into Jake DeMarco under the bus a lot. And I don't appreciate that from a guy that goes on every show and calls himself real as real can be, but he throws his friends under the bus like crazy. And I don't think that's something to be proud of.
Now, when this interview goes out and Joe watches it, now you can face Joe and say how you feel, and Joe, that doesn't represent me or how I feel anything towards you. So
Yeah.
I just want to state that here now.
Man, if Joe Cronin wants to go in a Skype call with me and debate off air, on air, whatever, I will give facts about how I feel about him. I will give him facts of why I do not classify him as real as F. Look, Joe Cronin, you can talk a lot of shit, but you can't back it up.
That's your opinion. That's
my opinion. That's my opinion. That is my opinion, not yours. My opinion. And if Joe Cronin wants to go on Twitter, argue with me all day, so be it. But I'm challenging you to a phone call, debate, whatever you want to call it. But end of the day, I'll win. I'll win.
How about this? Evan Law versus Joe Cronin in an epic wrestling match. How about this, folks? What's set up for this summer? Let's have it. Evan Law versus Joe Cronin versus relevancy and realism.
Relevancy and realism. I love it. Or we can call himself the Battle of the Realism.
And see who will win.
Yep.
Because Joe, apparently you're a wrestler also. You hit the ropes yourself, and
Joe Cronin's a wrestler? I maybe in bed with Leah and stuff.
What?
Maybe in bed with Leah, but I don't think he's a wrestler. He doesn't look like one.
He's hit the ropes. I've heard he's hit the ropes. He did some training.
Oh, you mean the time he wrestled a stuffed bear? Yeah, he's real athletic.
I mean, I'm not going to talk trash about my friend. I'm not going to say anything negative about him. But thank you, Evan, so much for coming on here. I really do appreciate it. As always, I'm Tommy NC2010. And if you're ever at any show and you want to see Evan, you could check him out on Twitter. He is a indie wrestler, and we brought him on here to talk about his career and many other things. And by the way, Evan, what is your picks for Fastlane?
Ooh, I'm only gonna give my opinion on the six-pack challenge for the WWE Championship. Who I want to win is, of course, my man Ziggler. Who I think will win is Cena. No, not Cena. AJ.
You think? Oh, that's right. They'll keep the title on. So you don't think Well, that's right. Sensei is supposed to be is going to be at WrestleMania. So a lot of people have been, honestly, they've already fought each other. That on a pay-per-view because what's-his-face couldn't fight Shinsuke. Or who... Wait a minute, no, that was Finn Balor. Wasn't that Finn Balor and AJ Styles?
Correct.
It was a dream match, yeah, because Finn Balor couldn't fight what's-his-face? Mr. I'm gonna hide in the woods and gonna,
Bray Wyatt?
Yeah, Bray Wyatt couldn't wrestle because he was sick.
Sister Abigail. Yeah, I got it.
Yes, and so you got your money on AJ Styles.
I got my money on AJ.
Okie dokie. Well, as always, folks, I'm Tommy NC2010, and this right here is Evan Law. And as always, I'm keeping you on the inside fact. Subscribe, support, stay positive. Catch you later, folks.
See ya.